begin, like last time, with God's people singing another song of salvation. This time it's called the Song of Moses, which links it to the song that was sung after the crossing of the Red Sea, and of the Lamb as well, linking it to the salvation of Jesus. This is a song of praise to God. And after John has heard this song and seen it sung, so he looks and sees 7 bowls given to 7 angels as they have these 7 plagues that they're going to pour out on the earth. And they're told to go and do that, to go and pour their bowls full of God's wrath onto the earth. The first bowl is poured out on the land, and all the people of the earth receive sores all over their body, terrible, painful sores. The second bowl is poured onto the sea, and the sea turns to blood. The third bowl is poured out on the rivers, and the rivers and freshwater springs are all turned to blood as well. And we're told at this point, with an interruption, that this bit is happening because God's people have had their blood shed, because of the martyrs that have been killed, persecuted for their faith. The fourth bowl is poured out on the sun, and the sun is able to scorch people with terrible fire. Now, it's all very similar to the seals and the trumpets, but the difference here is that there's no limit. As we're cycling around this same period of history between the ascension and the return of Jesus, well, it's finally reaching the end of all things. It's finally reaching the return of Jesus and the final judgment that ensues. Not decorative, that's for sure. Nice one, thanks very much. With the fifth bowl, it is poured out on the beast, that is the one from the sea, and darkness comes over all people, and they're in agony and they curse God. With the sixth bowl, it is poured out on the river Euphrates, which dries up to prepare the way for the kings of the east to arrive. That's about the final battle, which we're coming on to. But then for this unholy trinity, which is the dragon and the sea beast and the land beast, which is now called the false prophet, they have this strange frog-like spirit coming out of their mouths, and that is to prepare people again for this final battle, to prepare people for one last attack upon God in order to try and oppose him and bring him down, as if that were possible. Then comes the seventh bowl. It's poured out into the air, and as that happens, the cosmos is brought into upheaval. God shouts from his throne, "It is done." There is lightning and earthquakes and thunder, of course. The city is split into 3, and Babylon is given the cup of God's wrath to drink. Hail comes down from the sky, hail that is absolutely massive, and it causes so much pain. God's righteous anger is building and building throughout this period of history. He's right to get angry because we as humans ignore him and his ways every day of our lives. We continue to shun him despite the way that he shows his goodness and mercy and kindness every day of our lives. We even subvert his justice and turn things to our own ways. And yet there is a time coming when God's anger will build no more, and it will be poured out upon this earth. This is the time that it is speaking of in this seventh bowl of judgment being poured out. The final judgment, the final word from God saying, "It is done." This despite God's patience, we're told twice that people don't repent, 3 times that they continue to curse God. So despite his patience and his mercy, yet still people don't turn to him. And so these 2 chapters are a warning to us to ensure that we are among those who have repented, those who have turned to the Lamb, those who are able to sing the song of salvation. We're encouraged to keep on sharing that message of good news in Jesus so that other people can join in the song.